Hi guys, in today's session we're going to learn about medical coding and how medical coding is a very interesting course that is coming up in India, where the job opportunities are becoming really high. Now, what is the basics of medical coding? What is the medical coding industry? If you look at America, you look at Europe, all of the hospitals, they run on insurance, right? It's not like in India where you guys have a disease, you go to the hospital to pay with cash. In America and Europe, most of the countries, they either run on insurance, private insurance or state-run insurance, where a small amount of money is deducted from your account every month towards an insurance company, private or maybe government. And then if you have a disease, then that insurance company will take care of all of your expenses. Now, why am I saying this? Is because of these very complicated insurance systems in America and Europe, in the Western countries, there is a need for processing all of the information data, for all of the insurance data. For processing all of the insurance data, we need a large number of workforce. There is a standard method for processing this data, and then this data is, in the medical industry, the data is hugely complicated, right? I mean, it's not one or two diseases. There are hundreds of diseases, thousands of medicines, thousands of diseases, even thousands of medicines, thousands of cures and ailments and treatments, right? So all of this needs to be processed. So where is this processed? It's not processed in America or Europe. It's processed in countries like India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, where the labor is outsourced, the work is outsourced to us. And we sort of, in India, over here, we sit and type up all of these codes, we type up all of the documentation, we make all of the work standard, we make all of the work into a standardized format, and we send it back to America, to Europe, so that their work is easier, the insurance work is easier. Now, all of this work coming to India, we have such a healthy BPO kind of an ecosystem over here for processing all of this data. The work is very hectic, but the pay and there's a minimum guarantee for those kind of jobs, for medical coding jobs. So medical coding as a sector keeps growing more and more, especially because of COVID. Now, what happened is when COVID-19 happened, the hospitals in America, the hospitals in Europe, all of these hospitals started flooding up, right? They started increasing, all of these hospitals. Now, when the patients in these hospitals started increasing, the workload also started increasing. And when the workload started increasing, more and more work started getting outsourced to India and to Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, all of these countries like this. And as these work started coming in here, the requirement for medical coders kept on increasing. So we saw a huge spike in the requirement for medical coders. We saw a huge spike during COVID. So as I keep saying, right, Avodha, we research every single course before launching it. We research the job density. We research how much jobs are there in the industry. We research how many kinds of different job opportunities are there. What kind of career growth can be there? What kind of salaries can be attained by these people? We research all of this, and only after doing all of this research, we actually launch a course. So based on that, we've been able to understand that medical coding as an industry is growing. It's on the upper trajectory. It's growing very aggressively, and not just growing, it is also creating a lot of jobs for medical coders. It's creating a lot of professional career opportunities for these people, where career growth is there, high salary payouts are there, and employment generation is abundant. So that is why we decided to launch the medical coding course. Now, the medical coding course is one of our better selling courses. The reason is because of the pricing. So if you look at medical coding courses outside of Avodha, or if you look at other institutions, you might find the rate to be 35,000, 30,000, 45,000. But at Avodha, we teach the medical coding course at 12,800 rupees with 2,800 rupees upfront and 10,000 rupees after getting a job. So 2,800 rupees is the registration fees, and after you guys get placed in a medical coding company, we will collect the rest of the 10,000 rupees in two installments of 5,000 rupees and 5,000 rupees, right? So because of this is a course where there's a lot of kind of attacks happening for us also, because we have reduced the prices so much that medical coding has become accessible to a lot of the people out there. It's become accessible to a lot of the students out there, and that is why especially from the existing institutions, we've actually had to face a lot of criticism in this particular course. This course is more apt for health sciences professionals, people who come from a health science background, biology, some kind of a health science background, nursing, some kind of a health science background. This is extremely good for people who come from health science background. However, There are cases where people who come from non-health science backgrounds they also have a tendency to get a good job in this particular industry, but it's usually favorable for health science background kind of people. So in the medical coding course, the other speciality of the medical coding course is the fact that it's an evergreen industry, right? It's not an industry that will end very soon. The reason is because the medical coding course is in a particular field, which is the health sector, right? It's in the healthcare sector, and the healthcare sector is a field that will never go down. It will never decline. It will never come down. It's a field that will always be shining, that will always be evergreen. So that is why the medical coding, that particular sector, that particular course, and the job opportunities that spring from that course is something that can never actually go down as long as the healthcare sector is there, and the healthcare sector is pretty much eternal. Now in the medical coding industry, what is the certification that we rely on? We rely on the AAPC certification, which is the standard organization for running medical codes, making medical codes standard across the globe. It is the most widely accepted certification. There are other organizations for medical coding, particularly in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, but the AAPC is like the largest organization. It is the premier organization, the number one kind of an organization in that particular industry, and that is why we at Avodha, our curriculum is based on AAPC syllabus, and our certification exam that we offer is the CPC certification exam, and this is one of the most recognizable certifications. This is one of the most prestigious certifications within the medical coding industry. The way of instruction is the same. We have a 3-month course. A rigorous training happens in the 3-month course, and then we have live sessions in the evening where you guys can come and ask any doubts that you guys have. And after the course and after the live sessions, you guys get moved directly to the placement assistance. So the medical coding is one particular course where you guys don't go through an internship. The problem is because medical coding is from the healthcare industry, healthcare companies are very sensitive. So they don't prefer to have an unpaid intern or a paid intern. They prefer to only for direct placements. They prefer to have a job. And there are some more formalities in medical coding industry. Like, you might have to, go through rigorous training from their side also, so that you can understand their systems. So like that, it's a bit more serious. It's not like the other industries, because the healthcare industry as a whole is very serious. The training is more rigorous, the testing is more rigorous. They want to make sure that you're perfect when you're moving into that, because it's a healthcare industry. So that is why there is no internship, there's no concept of internship. You will get moved into a company. During the first couple of months, it might be unpaid for you, it might be paid depending on the company. But in the first couple of months, you will be learning about the softwares used by that company. So medical coding, the codes, right, the actual codes, they are actually universal. Those codes are universal, but there are some companies will use some individual softwares. So we have to learn what those softwares are, how those softwares work, and that depends on the company that you're getting the placement in. So maybe the first 1 month will be like that, or the first 2 months will be like that. You will have to learn all of these kind of things. You will have to learn what the company is doing, what is it that you'll have to learn what is it that the company is doing, what software the company is using, and you'll have to use your existing medical coding knowledge and apply it to that company. That is why the first couple of months might be paid or unpaid, but you won't directly go into the placement. But in that, this kind of acts like an internship also, but officially it's not an internship. It's kind of like that. And then, basically you guys will directly be going into the placement assistance in the case of medical coding. We actually have 2 other healthcare courses, and in both the healthcare courses there's no internship. So for all of healthcare courses, people don't prefer to give internship, they prefer direct placement for all of the healthcare courses. So that is why we don't give internship. That 3-month internship concept is not there for our healthcare industry or medical industry courses. So anyway guys, I hope you guys found this lecture informative on what the medical coding industry is, why job opportunity is more, how the job opportunity will keep on growing, what is the importance of certification. I hope you've understood all of this. So that's it guys on medical coding. I hope you guys found it informative, and I hope to see you guys taking this particular course. Alright, so thank you.